If you're thinking about signing up for iTracker360, let me give you a quick run through of the data that we can collect and what that would look like inside your Keap account. So this is a Keap contact record that came through as a new lead, and the source of this lead was Google. It was a Google pay-per-click lead from AdWords. The campaign was free trial. We were able to collect the content, the keyword, and this is pretty standard. This is UTM data that you can capture. You can do this from Google AdWords, Facebook ads, LinkedIn, wherever you run ads, you can do this. If you're sending emails out, you can capture this sort of data as well. So you'll know which email they're converting from and whatnot. We can also capture the referring URL. So this is the URL where the form was hosted. That's where they converted from. We can capture the IP address and use that to apply the city, state, postal code, and country. So this is GeoIP tracking. We use MaxMind, which is the most accurate API lookup provider. So you'll capture that without even asking for anything. If you don't want the IP address stored in your account, that's fine. We can disable that. That's just an option inside iTracker. If somebody comes back months later, maybe they come from Facebook. So these custom fields here, they could get overwritten with some values or whatever they come through with. So these custom fields will be overwritten over time, but we can preserve the original values in another set of fields if you want to do that. The other thing that is very useful inside Keap is the lead source. And so the lead source is also set based on those original tracking fields. And once a lead source is set, this will never get overwritten. But anyhow, that's an option for you. And that's some of the stuff iTracker can do. We can also capture the Google Click ID or the Microsoft Click ID or various Click IDs from different places. So the Google Click ID is one of the most common because some people use it for offline conversions and events with Google Analytics. But moving on, so for tags, we can apply tags for each of these fields individually. So here's like the campaign tag, the medium tag, and we can also apply like a lead source tag. And this is great because you have a time-stamped event of when they came through, with what parameters and what tracking data. And people can have multiple tags. So they'll have, a Google tag, they'll have Facebook or whatever. Now, if you don't want these tags, you can, just turn it off. They're not enabled by default, but you can enable them if you'd like. Another thing we can do is capture the country. So if somebody comes from the United States or from some other country, we can apply the tag, the country tag. If you don't really care about the country and the only thing you're concerned about is, are they from the European Union? We can apply a European Union tag, and then you can run automations based on that if you need to. As far as iTracker goes, we can push tracking data into your account via tags. We can track the country. We can track the original point of entry, the most recent point of entry. We can preserve those fields. We can capture other data like the Google Click ID. We can set the city, state, postal code, and country based on the GeoIP tracking. We can set the time zone of the contact record. If it's not already set, we'll set the field, but we will not overwrite it. And then we'll set a good detailed lead source. So inside iTracker, there's also a lead source organizer tool. So if your lead sources are really messy, you can, organize your lead sources better. There's also a URL builder tool. So if you want to build certain URLs and then use a short link generator, you can do that. And if you do use a short link, you'll be able to see stats as far as the number of clicks and see other basic stats as like referral, where people are coming from, like referrers and browsers and things of that nature. So it's just a URL builder, which stores all of your URLs and you can search them and shorten them if you want to do that. There's advanced settings with iTracker related to how do you want us to set the lead source? Do you want a shorter lead source or a longer, more detailed one? These are the settings where you can enable or disable, setting the time zone or the GeoIP tracking, or don't write the IP address field into Keap. Here's the country tag tracking where we can apply a European Union tag if you need that. You can set up cross-domain tracking if you have that sort of set up with your site. Some of the other fields we can track as far as like the Facebook Click ID, the Microsoft Click ID, some relevant cookie values. Anyways, there's other stuff built into iTracker. And the way that it works is once a lead comes through your account, we will sync that lead. We will capture the data, and then we will sync that lead with Keap. And all this data is pushed in to your account automatically. So whether you're using WordPress, lead pages, Keap landing pages, Unbounce, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is include our tracking code onto your website. And once we have our tracking code on your website pages, then we can start tracking leads as they come through. And then we'll sync that data to your account automatically, and you'll know where your leads are coming from.